So, kind of long time update. I've been working this whole time, developing something that I think I'm pretty excited about. So, I went full on archery after I was doing all the spawning skeletons and having watching them fight because ultimately, long story short, it wasn't very fun to watch AI battle. I mean, initially it's kind of fun because you feel like you're tricking it, but then you just feel like you're ganking AI. So I was like, what is the player actually doing? What is the hook? It's obvious part of game development. So I knew archery was something that I wanted to focus on. I went online to look up like different archery setups, and in this archery setup, which is called Horse Archery System, which is pretty awesome. It's very full featured anyway, I heavily referenced this, and at first I copied it straight up, and then to a biped. That doesn't, I mean, it just doesn't hold up. There's just too many settings that he chose. So I basically, first I copied it, then I had to go back and remake it again, just heavily referencing a lot of core concepts that were in that. Really great system. So here's where I'm at. I have a character. He can run, he can sprint, he can gain his stamina back, shooting arrows. The longer you hold, the more strain there will be, but you can also hold your breath and hold my breath and fire even. So I also have implemented material types. So you basically, that's armor. And it'll have glancing angles. So basically, you have to, if you're going to shoot armor, it has to be on a pretty direct. That's something that that's like stone. You can never penetrate stone. There's also, it does depth checks to what you're shooting into. So if it's something, this is like hay, it will go through a lot. I haven't connected this to damage, but I'm hoping to have damage be influenced by sort of these depth checks. So this would be wood. And again, you're getting certain depth choices. And then the core concept to this game is that there's arrow types. Also, by the way, there's the arrows in his quiver are the arrows being shot. So that's how you can see what how many arrows you have left. So I'll switch to this is an armor piercing arrow. So this will another arrow might glance off. An armor piercing arrow will hit. And then as you see, this is a magic arrow that will, obviously that's just a temp effect, but so even it basically on impact, but not on reflection. So there's I think of puzzles that can be based on reflected arrows, and I'd like to have a lot of magic type effects. So the other thing I've gotten implemented, the first early pass with just, let's see, where's the examples, RPG. So I have the AI toolkit that I've used before. That was what I used to make my so we have health working. Killed him. And then let's try it. Got him. So I mean, I have damage turned way up, and then we can add more health, and then the health bar goes away. So there's already a lot of subtleties, like even the crosshair will bold to not bold. I've kind of overbuilt some features already, but that's kind of like the short of it. I'll explain more about the core concept being the arrow types and having them. Current working title is called Archer Enchanter. So you would enchant different types of arrows and have all these sort of magic abilities based on the arrows you have in your quiver. So you kind of have to plan and strategize what you want to take into the I don't know, situation, the puzzle, and yeah. So it's just starting to come together.